Hello, it is Saturday, March 8th, 2025. I'm walking around the central Hennepin, some might call it northeast, neighborhood of Minneapolis. It's a beautiful sunny day. You can see a little bit of snow left over from the storm we got midweek, but I imagine most of that will be melted by tomorrow or so. I think it's supposed to be 50 tomorrow or something toasty like that. What? Did you hear that? Oh, this camera said something as I walked by. I'm trying to get it to do it again. I think it only triggered it the first time when I was walking by. Oh well. Hey, Chelsea and Man Size. Hello. Hope you're both having a good afternoon so far. Sidewalks are still a bit sloppy. Boots may have been a better idea. I'm out here in like normal shoes today. I figured it'd be cleaner, but some of the spots that are in the shade are still a little sloppy. Man Size, I don't know. I think it was like a Nest Cam or a Ring Cam or something. There was a back door to someplace over there, and as I walked by, it said like, hey, and something else, and I couldn't hear what it was, so I was trying to get it to trigger to go off again. But it's still, I think it only worked the first time. DD Curtis, hi, a beautiful day here today. Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous. Definitely feels like we're coming out of winter. I had a nightmare like the other night that I looked at my weather app and it said like -10 or something in the forecast. And I was like, no, I thought we were done. But then I woke up in a cold sweat and it was false. Chelsea says, pretty day out today. I bet you're glad there's no wind. Yeah, there's a little breeze. It's pesky, but not bad. Lots of new apartments in this area. And the Otter Saloon, complete with otter. Oh, not Otter Saloon, Otter's Saloon. The otter owns the saloon. Are there river otters in the Mississippi River? Man Size is having crazy dreams. Chelsea Wright says, what neighborhood? This would be, I would call it Central Hennepin. I think some people call it Northeast, but I think Northeast starts when you get over that little bridge that you're looking towards right now. I don't know what the proper term is for it, but it's like Central Hennepin Avenue, entrance to Northeast. Man Size says that used to be Palmer's. Okay, so before Palmer's moved to the West Bank, I only knew of it from its current location, which is a cool spot. Laura says, enjoyed your video where you rode your bike across the lake. I was amazed. Yeah, that was fun. I was excited to try that. Not something I do right now for any of the lakes that are still frozen over. Yeah, fear that I might break through. But thank you, yeah. We've got the brand new Saturday Dumpling Company right here. So this used to be a pop-up that was really popular, and they just opened up their brick and mortar location where every day is Saturday. Well, it just so happens to be actual Saturday. Yeah, they do all kinds of dumplings, and I want to say they had like a pancake breakfast burrito thing, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I haven't been in there yet, but I've seen some good press about it. And I remembered wanting to try it when they were still just a pop-up, but never got out there. Here is the Conga Latin Bistro and the new Hensen apartment building. I want to say this one just opened maybe a year or so ago, maybe 2 years. I had a coworker that lived in there, and they said that they were the first tenant in their spot, and that couldn't have been more than a year and a half ago. Chelsea wants to know what the chat's opinion is on living downtown is. My opinion would be I like downtown. I think it'd be a fun area to live. I think there is a lack of grocery stores outside of the Target, but overall, a lot of cool stuff. Just gets kind of quiet at night. There's not as many bars and restaurants as like this area, where there's stuff going on, unless you're gonna go up closer to the theater and basketball arena area, which there's always stuff going on up there. But the actual like Nicollet Mall, Marquette kind of area just gets so quiet after all the places close. I feel like if you want to live downtown, you want there to be a little more activity going on, just because you want to be in the center of things if you're going to live downtown. I wish our downtown was a little more active. But I say that as someone who leaves most of the time by evening, so maybe there's a whole downtown scene that I don't even know about. Man Size says they liked Loring Park area, used to be okay. Yeah, that's a great spot. Like, I mean, this neighborhood, Loring Park on the other side of downtown, North Loop, there's a lot of really good neighborhoods right next to downtown. And I think as the office to residential conversions continue, downtown will continue to become cooler and more livable. Wait. And there'll be more stuff to enjoy down there. But yeah, Loring Park area is great. Beautiful park. I actually thought about starting the stream over there today, but decided to come to this neighborhood instead. Jim's Bakery and Coffee Shop. Has anybody had an experience at Jim's Bakery and Coffee Shop when that was there? Yeah. Maybe it was right there where that Wildflower Cannabis Company is. I don't know. Chelsea says she likes North Loop a lot. Yeah, North Loop's a very nice neighborhood. It's got everything. Only thing similar to downtown is it lacks grocery, but really good restaurants, nightlife, amenities. Maybe missing a hardware store, but We could get a hardware store. So when you have basic needs to repair stuff, you can grab that. Or if you could get and a grocery store. Those are the two things that I'd like to see in North Loop. Then it would be perfect. Punchy says Happy Women's Day. Yeah, Happy International Women's Day. Chelsea says she's a Costco gal. That is perfect for North Loop then. I think North Loop is really popular amongst like the type of, if you're gonna live in like an apartment or something and then just grab your car and hop out to the Costco in St. Louis Park. It's like a 10-minute drive from there and you can get out to Costco pretty quickly. Which it's a great option, yeah. Yeah, Lund's right here, and then Surdyk's is gonna be on the other side there. We'll probably get back to it. I'm gonna go walk over by the river here for a bit, and then come back to that other side. Yeah, if you have a car and have the ability to hop out to Costco to get all your groceries and stuff, downtown or North Loop would be great. I try to think in terms of if I'm just taking little trips or just grabbing stuff from the corner store. There is a little produce market in North Loop, the one that has that egg sandwich shop in it. I think it's called like Fifth Avenue Produce Market. Nice, if you ask him for something, he'll try to order it to keep it in stock, which is good to have. Man Size says that's a cool building. This one back here, I think it's like a law office. Girl, you are crossing the street on the green light. Oh, she might be having a rough time. I think it was a library. Yeah, at one point I believe, so that makes sense. If you were here around 4:30 on Sunday, November 10th and witnessed a hit and run, you may have helped save my mother's life. She is alive and recovering and wants to thank you. How kind. Yeah, great day for a walk, D.D. Curtis. Yeah. I try to stick, like, whenever I go to these other neighborhoods or cross the river, I always like to come to spots where I can get a nice view of downtown and views of the river. I don't know, I'm too formulaic. Yeah, the skyline's peeking out right here. Beautiful downtown Minneapolis. And then we're coming up on the Mississippi River. Momentarily we'll get to see it. A lot of people out walking on the St. Anthony, Maine area. Everybody enjoying themselves down there. Imagine there's quite a few people probably walking out on the Stone Arch Bridge today, which people are getting anxious around getting those repairs finished. I still think it's going to be a whole nother year or so, if I remember correctly. Hi, pigeons. love St. Anthony, Maine, my favorite skyline, Chelsea. Do I think Doge cuts are going to affect St. Paul a lot? I think that it has been targeted by a few things. I want to say there are multiple Minnesota locations of federal offices that have been earmarked for closure, and there's this in the Minnesota Science Museum. There's a National Park Service visitor center that is super cool. You go in there, it's like pretty small, talks about the Mississippi River, and they have this simulator thing where you spread your arms out like an eagle and you can fly over the river. It's a cool little spot, but I heard that one is marked to be closed at some point, which would be really unfortunate. And I hope whatever damage is done by the current administration can be repaired in the future. We can get back to having cool things like that. Because is the purpose of the National Park Service to be profitable, or is it to offer an amenity to the people? I think the latter, but that's just my opinion, and I think the purpose of government is to protect people and to supply them with basic needs while supporting businesses as well. But yeah, seeing a place like that close would be really disappointing. I just went there for the first time a few months back, and they have like a passport program, so we got our little national park passport in there. Dee Dee Curtis says, yep, I agree, and to protect nature, absolutely. And I think my wife sent me something this morning about increased clear cutting in national parks, so we'll see what that consists of. But some things do not need to be sold to the highest bidder. Hakan, so beautiful. I love the beautiful skyline and the beautiful nature in the city. It seems to blend so well. Please never stop doing these wonderful videos. Hey, thank you, Hakan. I love the way that I think you point out a great thing about Minneapolis that makes Minneapolis what it is. It's the blend of nature and the city coming together so well, to where you do have this somewhat of a urban center here in the Midwest of Minneapolis, which is decently dense and large and populated, maybe like a third tier populated level city in the US, but really does a great job of being intertwined with the natural beauty of the state and of the area, and of maintaining some of these historical spots. But I do appreciate the kind words there. It means a lot to hear that sort of thing, so thank you very much. One of my goals this summer is to get out on the Mississippi Falls Lock and Dam right there. I went out there a few years ago just to walk around, but every time I came out last year it was closed, so hopefully I can find a time when it's open this year and walk around there, show some cool views. A lot of bikers out today. It's good to see that energy back. I heard something this morning that I'm excited about here in Minneapolis. It is something that was just announced today. So a few people I know in the city have just started what will be a cargo bike share. So I think they're starting. It's pretty neighborhood based for the Lindale neighborhood. It's called the Minneapolis Cargo Bike Share. And you sign up, you go to their orientation, that's going to be like an hour, and then they'll talk to you about what their plans are and everything. And it's a free cargo bike share that you can use for a few days to try out a few of these cargo bikes, or use it to grab groceries and see how it fits into your lifestyle. And I think it's a really cool idea, and I did sign up for it. I don't live in the Lindale neighborhood, so, and I imagine there's going to be a ton of demand for it. I think it said you can rent the bikes for up to a week. So who knows how long it'll take for me to get one. But whenever I do get one, I do plan to make a video about it and talk about the process and talk about how it works, and probably grab some groceries and stuff on it one day just to get around with it and cart my kids around on it for a bit and find a way to show what they're doing and use them as an example for something cool that other people can replicate. If you're a older internet person like myself, you may recall that's sort of what Uber and Lyft started out as, was these car sharing things where it was free. You know, you'd give people rides when they would need it, and it kind of came from Craigslist, and Airbnb came from this thing called Couchsurfer, where you would go onto this website and you would just find couches to stay at in different cities. And then at one point, people came through and started monetizing it and turned into something that really disrupted both the hotel and taxi industry to where they're completely different now. So I'm interested to see how this concept works for the cargo bike industry and the bike share industry, because we obviously already have bike rentals widely available in most places. We have the short-term bike rentals here in Minneapolis during the spring and summer. So interested to see how it works with the cargo bikes. And I do wish this project all the best. So Minneapolis Cargo Bike Share. Check it out. If you've got money, throw it their way. I don't even know if they're accepting donations or anything. I don't know. I assume that having a project like that, they'll probably be looking for some sort of donations or funding at some point, but I think it's done alongside Bike Minnesota and the Bicycle Alliance of Minnesota, which is a very cool organization. But yeah, wow, what a gorgeous day today. Warm enough to be outside, and I'm just wearing a sweatshirt, but still a little snow on the ground, still some ice inside the lock here. Snowy playground down there. I don't know, where do I want to go? Do I want to go back to Northeast? Do I want to walk around here? When I spent the week in San Francisco, not that last week, but the week before, doing some work, and they have, I think it's called Bay Bikes or something, or Bay Rides. That's their bike share. It's a little more spendy than the Lyft one is here, the Lime Bikes, or not Lyft. Lyft is the one who does that one. The Lime Bikes here, but they have way more stations, and you take them to charging ports, and works really well. But I think it was like $4 to start a ride or something, and 30 cents a minute if you're doing a e-bike, and $4 to start it, and then 30 minutes free, and then 30 cents a minute for a pedal powered bike. But yeah, it was really cool, and it's getting used a lot. There was one by the office I was working out of, and at the end of the day, if you'd leave at 5, they were cleared out. So I did get a free e-bike ride one of the days, because if you show up to the charging station and there are no pedal bikes available, you can use the e-bike for the pedal bike price. So I took advantage of that. But it was, I think it's like you pay less and then they do limited assist. So I had this super heavy e-bike that is built to have a decent sized pedal assist on it. And I'm trying to climb up these hills in San Francisco on it. And this thing is heavy, but I picked the limited assist, and about 5 minutes in, I was seeing if I could switch it back to regular, but I didn't want to pay the $4 all over again. So I just stuck it out for like 30, 45 minutes. We survived. Chelsea loved the San Fran video. Such a nice surprise. Yeah, thank you. I really wish I could have recorded more out there. I wanted to do some longer walks, but just kind of recorded a few of those clips and put those up. I think I might have one more that I haven't published yet. I don't know. That one where I was riding on Columbus, and this like I was just out riding my bike, and I'm next to this cable car, and the Transamerica Pyramid is in the distance, and I was just so happy. What a beautiful moment. Ricky says USPS. Yeah, this is the USPS building here on the right. A Art Deco gem of Minneapolis. Definitely they got some pristine waterfront property. I think it used to be a train station, Great Northern Depot or something, if I recall correctly. And then the Postal Service took over it a while back. I don't know though, could be wrong. This parking ramp right here, parking ramp being a regional term, everywhere else this would be a parking garage, but the Minnesotans call it a ramp. And this is something that a lot of people want to see torn down and redeveloped, because it has this great waterfront location. But we'll see what gets done with that. Hopefully we'll see some cranes and some more tall buildings coming back to Minneapolis in the near future. There's a few over by the University of Minnesota, which I was considering recording by today, but you know, for some reason I decided to go closer to this area where I can get closer to every day instead of that other side of the river that I'm rarely near. Ricky says Starbucks is straight ahead. Yeah, right here. They miss downtown. Yeah, I love downtown Minneapolis. It's great. Definitely some things I would swap to improve it, and some changes I'd make, but I'm not sure how feasible they are given the climate. Like a day like today, I'm like, why are there not tables outside for people to sit outside and enjoy? But during the winter, it doesn't quite work. I just want sidewalk cafes everywhere and outdoor seating. It just makes everything feel so much more communal. So we're gonna cross right back over the Mississippi River again, this time on the Hennepin Bridge, and then I'll walk around northeast a bit. I'll probably do a downtown stream definitely next week. Well, I don't want to say definitely, but highly likely I will do a downtown stream after work someday next week. Maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know. Here we are on the Hennepin Avenue Bridge with the Grain Belt beer. icon of Minneapolis. Which I want to say I heard this sign used to be more in like the central Hennepin area, in like, well, I guess that's confusing because I keep calling this side of the river Central Hennepin, but referring to the downtown area as Central Hennepin. No. So I think that used to be over in like the downtown theater district part of Hennepin. Hey. White Castle over there. Oh, is there a White Castle around here somewhere? I don't know. Risky habits, so they moved to the country, such a bummer. Life takes us all kinds of places. And it's, I hope you're making the most of where you are, and if it's not where you want to be, you're doing what you can to get to where you want to be. Which is oftentimes easier said than done. Lucien Lescott says USA, American flag, globe. Andre says beautiful sunny day there. Local shower pooper says Midtown Global Market walk when. I don't know, I feel like I should get approval first because it is an indoor spot, but I do need to record in there. I don't think I could do a live stream in there because of the service, like the phone service in there. So that big old building would likely not get streaming level service, but I know I've said this to you like 5 times before, but I'm adding it to my list. I think it's already on there, but I'm gonna prioritize getting out there. There's a few spots that I've been talking about doing that I want to get building approval first, and that would be one of them. But we'll get there. All right. Let's. You can see the Boom Island lighthouse out there. I don't think I've ever walked around up there either. So many places to show in Minneapolis and Minnesota, and I show the same 5 spots like a million times. Yeah, Midtown Global Market is so cool. So many cool restaurants in there, and there's often such fun stuff going on there. I think I went there, the last time I was there was like this craft fair that was going on. It was really cool, a lot of little makers and creative people that were selling different stuff. Wish I would have recorded that day, but I was just there hanging out, and then I think it was ending too soon for me to go home and get my gimbal thing here. I say that as if you can see me moving the gimbal in my hand, which you cannot. Look, here's how you can see me. I'll see, I was making this movement. You can kind of see it in the shadow, but I tried to move away from the gimbal here. Got a couple bikers out here. I am excited for the month of April. I don't know how many people out there take part. Last year I did it. I hope to do it again this year, but this guy Patrick here in Minneapolis started this idea called 30 Days of Biking, where during the month of April, you try to ride your bike every single day. And I think for Minnesotans, that's a really great thing to try to do. We do typically get 1 or 2 snowstorms in April, but getting out and riding every day is a really good way to build those habits if you're if you're not a winter rider. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that coming up here soon. Shower Pooper says, I hope it reaches 60 on Monday. That'd be perfect for a bike ride and finally breaking out the shorts. Yeah, I guarantee somewhere in Minneapolis today, there's some dad out here in shorts without a shirt on, digging around in his front yard with a shovel or something. Every time, without exception. The sun comes out, it gets above 30 degrees. These dudes are out here in their shorts, taking off their shirts like it's 100 degrees out here, trying to prove something. But definitely 60 degrees is shorts weather. I always laugh when it's like 20 or 30 and people are out in it. Got some people walking around Nicollet Island. I haven't walked around Nicollet Island in a few years. Not even just like in general, as in not for to make videos of it. I walked around there to make a video for this like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's the only time I've walked around there. I need to get back out there. Best quote, enjoy where you are. You gotta at least try to, right? Alright, so we're crossing back over into that northeast area. It's a little quieter part of the river. The area that has been ravaged. There's nowhere to park. Too many bike lanes. Local shower says, I'm not even a dad and I'd do that. Well, you just got to bring that dad energy, right? Is it dad energy or dad vibes? I don't know. What's the right way to say that? I'm getting a notification saying the transmission is unstable, so if you came to Maplewood, been to Maplewood once to go to the venue. There's a Mexican restaurant I went to. It's like a taqueria. It's pretty good. Actually, it was solid. Not just pretty good, it was a solid taqueria. And then went to the venue up there, I think it's called Myth Live, to go see a concert. I want to say they're getting a new bus rapid transit line going up to Maplewood, but do not quote me on that. So I think they tried to fight it. So maybe it's not happening, I don't know. Or at least certain stops. So I wanted to go that way, but I want to walk up these steps too. Local shower pooper says there's a great cat cafe in New Hope. It's great. Yeah, I think it used to be in Minneapolis in the Uptown area, if I remember correctly, and then they moved up to New Hope, right? And now there's one in St. Paul too. Love the cat cafe concept. Speaking of great cafes, there's a cafe coming up here that is wonderful, that I think gets a lot of much deserved credit. And I've had a few people mention wanting to see it, so why don't I try and go inside here right now. The Fragment Coffee inside River Place. Ooh, DD Curtis says shorts with a sweatshirt. See, that's my style. Highly coffee. I think they have cardigan donuts. I think they have cardigan donuts in there as well. Really good pastries. Don't think you can get in here and look over. Yeah. Right, it says the connection is unstable again, so must be a bad spot. We will find out shortly when the connection catches up. French meat pies. Meat pies for sale. $30. Buy 2 pies for $60 and receive a free Lord's thermal bag. Thermal lunch for sale, $5. Someone's gonna try one of these French meat pies sometimes. Laura says lots of buffering. Yeah, sorry about that. I should have known better than to try to record inside of this old brick building. It's not doing so hot in there, but we're back outside. Pike. Right. Harry says stop using dial-up Wi-Fi service. Yeah, I've been downgraded. I used all my data for the month, and now they're throttling me. So we're up here in northeast or central area. Old supper club stuff changed. I wonder if my phone is grabbing Wi-Fi from these buildings or something, and it keeps, did I forget to turn Wi-Fi off before I started walking? Because for some reason it keeps periodically getting awful service. Here's the Kramer Chooks. Sausage and European style bakery. Oh, it smells great. Not only do they have like great sausage and cabbage rolls and this mushroom sauce that is killer in there, they've got this, their sandwiches are top tier as well too. Absolutely phenomenal spot. But that's not like a hidden gem by any means. I think you talk about Minneapolis food and Kramer Chooks is sure to come up on the list, especially this neighborhood. Serdix. Well, thank you to everybody who was bearing with me through that buffering and poor service. Hopefully we are seeing the other side of it now. You know, the bike racks are great when people are using a pole instead of the bike rack. That's how you know they're designed properly. Or just not in the best spot. Fletcher's Ice Cream. I think this is the mayor's apartment. If you want to yell, "Go home, Jacob," at him or something. Go home, Jacob. This is outside of here where he notoriously got booed at one point. I think the crowd gathered out here and yelled at him about defunding the police or something. Hung his head and went home. Yeah, there's that brand new bike lane. That the neighborhood was torn up over last year. Glad to see it back. So if you like the idea, any of these businesses around here, they were real mad about that last year because they were struggling because the streets were all closed. So come support them. Mill City Running and the Terminal Bar. Whoa. Interested to see what happens to this Wells Fargo location here. I'm sure it will eventually be redeveloped in some way or another. Yeah, it was a nice walk, nice little loop. It's good to see people out after a quiet winter. Hopefully they stick around. It always feels like it's quiet in here during in the summer on weekends because I think a lot of people go to like cabins and stuff. But Hakan says, what's your favorite time of year for walking in Minneapolis? Probably spring. Like once everything turns green, there's like that week when all the stuff is moth vintage. There we go. There's that week when all the flowers are blossoming and the cherry blossom trees are coming out and the city is just green and full of life. It's gorgeous. That or like a nice snow day. What do we have here? Is that like some kids player? Oh no. Hopefully that person comes back and gets it. Risky says, I miss the old area I used to live, straight off 22nd. Yeah. Likely a lot of differences in the last few years, you know, all these new apartments and nail salon nearby, I think. I believe it. Hakan says that would be my pick too, before it gets too hot in summertime. Yeah. I like the heat too. I like to run in the heat and I like to be outside when it's hot. But definitely my favorite is right before it gets hot, when it's still nice. Apollo Beach and Locks of Love, Villano Beach. Gorka Palace, that's a popular spot. Jimmy's dropping the pizza emojis. Is that for the, what's that place, Slice back there? I bet these ones have some nice views. Of the river and of downtown from up there. Sure, it's gorgeous. We got the moving billboard. Yeah, might be the last time we see snow in Minneapolis for a few months, hopefully. We'll see. I think there's supposed to be another storm coming in next week. Someone was talking about that the other day, and I looked it up because I was like, oh no, I don't want it to snow that day because I have outdoor plans. And it looked like it was going to be like in the 50s or something, so it would probably rain and not snow. So if we hit 60 tomorrow or Monday, I imagine all the snow will be gone. And I don't know if I'll stream or record a video before then, so maybe not much more snow for the year. We got some sort of soft opening up here. Hemp House. The weed store. And the burlap lofts. Risky says expensive condos. Probably. I can't imagine views like that are going for cheap. Ooh, the herbivorous butcher. This is like a vegan butcher spot. And then Zora Darling over here. Oh no, someone broke the window. And Doris says, what equipment are you using to stream? So I have got, this is Zora Darling right here. It's a really cool restaurant, really cool spot. They have like pool, some music venue, good food. Definitely worth checking out in the if you're ever in the area. And Dora says, what equipment are you using to stream? So I have a few different setups that I use. Today I have a iPhone, I think it's a 15, something like that. And this gimbal. You see it moving there? Keeps it steady. Keep it steady. Ready, steady. And you are the artist. Your life is the canvas. And I'm using the Prism app to stream, which I think goes up to 1080p. I saw someone streaming the other day on a bike. I don't know who it was, whether there's a couple bike streamers that I've watched recently, and they were streaming in, I want to say 1440. I want to figure out how to do that. Just get a little better quality out of it. But yeah, today I've got an iPhone, a gimbal, and then the Prism app. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes I use a GoPro and have that streaming through my phone's Wi-Fi. Saw this other guy who does, he has his phone connected to like, or somehow he has like the GoPro connected to like multiple Wi-Fi or multiple phones. So he's got one with Verizon, one with T-Mobile, one with AT&T, so that if there's ever like a service interruption or poor service coming through, they can swap to the other phone. Just to keep that stream quality up. I thought that was pretty cool. Over here by the tracks. I don't think the North Star line goes on weekends. I did see a thing recently on one of the local news stations that there were, I think it was Care 11, and they were talking about the future of the North Star line. So North Star line is the commuter rail line that goes from Big Lake, Minnesota down to Target Field. So it's for commuters, you know, doing the office work in downtown Minneapolis. So it does 3 trains in the morning, and then I think 3 trains north, or maybe 1 train north of it. 3 trains down, 3 trains back every day, and then 1 reverse direction. So every morning there's like 1 going up, and yeah. And they're talking about cutting that service because it is just burning money. And while I am of the belief that transit should be subsidized and does not need to be profitable to be valuable, the amount of money they mentioned that this one was burning was substantial. I think it was something like, so it's $5 a ticket or something to get up and down, and I think they said it would be somewhere between 90 and 170 a rider if it was to make it profitable, because they're down to like 20, they're still only at 20% of their ridership from before the pandemic. So yeah, if you're a train fan, a rail fan, if you enjoy that, ride it while you can, because it will probably be a bus line within the next few years. So that's something I'll hopefully be recording a video on one of these days. Unfortunately, the reason why I think it's not really used is because the service the times it serves are not super convenient. So it doesn't really make much sense for me as a Minneapolis resident to go up there, but I want to ride the train. But all of that said, I think I am going to head home, maybe go for a bike ride this afternoon, If you are in Minneapolis or Minnesota, I hope you're enjoying the warm, beautiful day today. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I appreciate everybody watching the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. As always, reach out via comments or email or whatever. I hope you all have a great rest of your day until we connect again. Thank you. Take care.